I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this, but most people are completely wrong about solo travel. They think it's dangerous, lonely, and only for experienced backpackers. I've been to over 65 countries by myself, traveled to 6 out of 7 continents solo, and I'm about to reveal the biggest travel secret that tour companies don't want you to know. There are 10 countries on this planet where solo travel isn't just safe, it's actually life-changing. These destinations will build your confidence, connect you with incredible people, and give you stories that will make your friends jealous for years. But here's the thing nobody tells you. The order you visit these countries matters more than you think. The last country on this list completely transformed how I see the world, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why millions of solo travelers consider it the ultimate destination. But first, let me show you what happened when I visited the safest country on Earth for the very first time. Destination 1. Iceland, the confidence builder. The first country that will change your life is Iceland, and here's why this place is absolutely magical for solo travelers. Iceland is consistently ranked as the safest country in the world, and I mean so safe that people literally leave their cars running when they go grocery shopping. Try doing that anywhere else. But here's what makes Iceland perfect for your first solo adventure. It's impossible to get lost. The ring road is literally one road that goes around the entire country. You could close your eyes, point at a map, and end up somewhere incredible. I remember driving through Iceland and pulling over every 10 minutes because the landscapes were so mind-blowing. I questioned if I was still on planet Earth. What I love about Iceland for solo travelers is that you get the perfect balance. You can meet other adventurers at campsites and hostels in Reykjavik. But when you want solitude, you can find complete isolation surrounded by glaciers, waterfalls, and volcanic landscapes that look like they're from another planet. Here's my insider tip. Start in Reykjavik for 2-3 days to build your confidence and meet other travelers. Stay at a hostel. Trust me on this. Then rent a car and give yourself at least a week to drive the ring road. You'll return home feeling like you can conquer anything. The northern lights alone will give you a spiritual experience that you'll carry with you forever. But what really makes Iceland special is how it builds your confidence for bigger solo adventures. If you can handle Iceland, you can handle anywhere. Now, if Iceland builds your confidence, Thailand will teach you how to connect with people from every corner of the globe. This was actually the first place I went when I started my solo travel journey 9 years ago, and it completely changed my life. People love to call it the banana pancake trail, and you know what? I don't care. Sometimes easy is exactly what you need. Thailand's infrastructure is designed for travelers, the bus system is incredible, public transport is cheap and efficient, and you'll meet more solo travelers here than anywhere else on Earth. But here's what nobody tells you about Thailand. It's not just one experience. In the north, you have Chiang Mai with temples so beautiful they'll bring you to tears. I spent 3 days at the White Temple and met a group of solo travelers who became lifelong friends. In the middle you have Bangkok, pure sensory overload in the best possible way. The street food alone is worth the trip. Then you get to the south, and this is where Thailand gets really special. Everyone knows about Koh Phi Phi and Koh Tao, but let me tell you about my secret islands. Koh Yao Yai and Koh Yao Noi. These places are so peaceful, so untouched, that you'll feel like you discovered them yourself. Here's why Thailand is perfect for solo travelers. The infrastructure makes everything easy, but the experiences are authentic. You'll learn to navigate foreign cultures, try foods that will blow your mind, and develop social skills that will serve you for life. Plus, your money goes incredibly far here. Japan is going to challenge everything you think you know about traveling alone. This country is so culturally unique, so different from anywhere else, that it will literally rewire your brain in the best possible way. Let me give you an example of Japanese hospitality that still gives me chills. I was completely lost in Tokyo's subway system. And trust me, it's complicated. There was actually someone whose job it was to help confused travelers like me. Not just point me in the right direction, but walk me to my platform and make sure I got on the right train. I've never experienced customer service like this anywhere else in the world. The safety in Japan is beyond anything you can imagine. People save seats at restaurants by putting their wallets on the table and walking away. Imagine doing that in New York or London. But in Japan, it's completely normal because theft is virtually non-existent. Yes, there's a language barrier, especially in smaller towns, but here's the beautiful thing about Japanese culture. People will go out of their way to help you even if they don't speak English. I've had strangers walk me 15 minutes out of their way just to make sure I found my hotel. What makes Japan incredible for solo travelers is how it teaches you to be present. The culture is so focused on mindfulness, respect, and attention to detail that you'll find yourself slowing down and appreciating moments in ways you never have before. The food culture alone will change your life. Forget everything you think you know about Japanese food. Eating in Japan is like discovering cuisine for the first time. And the best part? Many restaurants are designed for solo diners, so you'll never feel awkward eating alone. Germany is going to surprise you because most people don't think of it as a solo travel destination, but it's absolutely incredible for building cultural confidence. Berlin is where I learned that solo travel isn't just about seeing places, it's about becoming a different version of yourself. This city is gritty, artistic, and so incredibly cool that you'll feel cooler just by being there. The nightlife is legendary, the art scene is mind-blowing, and the history will give you chills. But Germany isn't just Berlin. Head south to Baden-Württemberg, and you'll find waterfalls, mountains, and Christmas markets that look like they're straight out of a fairy tale. I spent a week driving through the Black Forest region. The Bavarian Alps are some of the most beautiful mountains in Europe, and the hiking culture here will inspire you. Germans take their outdoor time seriously, and you'll find yourself joining hiking groups and making friends on mountain trails. What I love about Germany for solo travelers is how it teaches you that Europe isn't just one experience. Plus, Germans are incredibly direct and honest, which means you'll always know where you stand. New Zealand is where solo travelers go to discover they're capable of adventures they never imagined. This country is consistently ranked as one of the safest in the world, but more importantly, it's designed for outdoor adventures. Very few people visit New Zealand and don't fall completely in love with it. The landscapes are so diverse and dramatic that every day feels like you're exploring a different planet. You've got snow-capped mountains, pristine beaches, glowworm caves, and fjords. Here's what makes New Zealand perfect for solo travelers. The infrastructure is set up for independent exploration. You can rent a camper van and have complete freedom to explore at your own pace, or you can stay in hostels and join group activities. The hiking culture here is incredible. New Zealand has some of the best multi-day hikes in the world, and you'll meet solo travelers from every continent on these trails. I did the Milford Track and made friends with people from 12 different countries. But what really sets New Zealand apart is how it teaches you to appreciate natural beauty. The sunsets and sunrises here are so spectacular, because you're surrounded by ocean on all sides. You'll find yourself waking up early just to watch the sun come up over mountains reflected in perfectly still lakes. The adventure activities here will push your limits in the best way. Bungee jumping, skydiving, whitewater rafting. New Zealand invented half of these activities. Peru is where you'll learn that solo travel doesn't mean you have to be alone. The Inca Trail is one of the best examples of how to travel solo while being part of an incredible community experience. When you join an Inca Trail hiking group, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're traveling independently, making your own decisions, but you're also part of a group that becomes like family over 4 days of hiking together. I've guided groups on this trail, and I've watched solo travelers form friendships that last decades. But here's what nobody tells you about the Inca Trail. The food is incredible. These guides and porters are artists when it comes to cooking in the mountains. They'll prepare 3-course meals at 14,000 feet that rival restaurants in major cities. It's mind-blowing. The experience of reaching Machu Picchu after 4 days of hiking is indescribable. You're standing at one of the ancient wonders of the world, surrounded by people who've become your closest friends, feeling like you've accomplished something truly extraordinary. What makes Peru special for solo travelers is how it teaches you that you can have structured experiences while maintaining your independence. You don't have to carry your own gear, you don't have to worry about navigation, but you're still making the choice to push yourself physically and mentally. The cultural immersion here is incredible. You'll learn about Incan history, interact with local communities, and gain perspectives on life that you can't get from books or documentaries. The Galapagos Islands will change how you see your place in the natural world. This is where solo travel becomes about more than just personal growth. It becomes about understanding our connection to the planet. The beauty of visiting the Galapagos as a solo traveler is that you can join a cruise and instantly have a built-in community of nature lovers. I've done this twice, once as a solo traveler and once leading a group, and both times people formed incredible bonds over shared wonder at the wildlife. Swimming with sea turtles, penguins, sea lions, and hammerhead sharks in the same day sounds impossible, but in the Galapagos, it's just Tuesday. The wildlife here has no fear of humans, so you'll have interactions with animals that feel almost magical. What makes this destination perfect for solo travelers is that everyone is there for the same reason: to witness one of the most unique ecosystems on Earth. The shared experience of seeing a giant tortoise that's over 100 years old, or watching blue-footed boobies do their mating dance, creates instant connections with fellow travelers. The conservation efforts here will inspire you to think differently about travel and environmental responsibility. You'll learn that tourism, when done right, can actually help preserve incredible places like this. Botswana is going to shatter every misconception you have about traveling solo in Africa. This country is incredibly safe, politically stable, and offers some of the most spectacular wildlife experiences on the planet. I've spent about a year of my life traveling around Africa, and Botswana consistently ranks as one of my favorite countries. The Okavango Delta is one of the most unique ecosystems on Earth, a massive inland delta where you can take mokoro, traditional canoe, rides through channels surrounded by elephants, hippos, and crocodiles. What makes Botswana perfect for solo travelers is the safari culture. You'll join small group safaris with other travelers, and there's something about watching a pride of lions hunt together that creates instant bonds between people. I've made some of my closest travel friendships on safari vehicles in Botswana. The night sky here will change your perspective on everything. With virtually no light pollution, you'll see the Milky Way so clearly it looks like a painting. Sitting around a campfire under stars like this, sharing stories with fellow travelers, is what solo travel is really about. Botswana also teaches you about sustainable tourism. The country has made conscious decisions to limit visitor numbers to preserve their ecosystems, and you'll see firsthand how tourism can support conservation efforts. The United States might seem like an obvious choice, but for Americans especially, solo travel within your own country is one of the best ways to build confidence. I've probably traveled more solo miles in the US than any other country, and it never gets old. The beauty of solo travel in America is the incredible diversity of experiences you can have. You can have a spiritual experience in the slot canyons of Utah, a cultural awakening in New Orleans, an outdoor adventure in Alaska, or a food journey through the Pacific Northwest. All without dealing with language barriers or currency exchanges. The national park system here is incredible for solo travelers. I've spent countless nights camping alone under stars in places like Zion, Arches, and the Grand Canyon. And these experiences taught me that solitude can be just as valuable as social connections. What I love about solo travel in America is how it teaches you that adventure doesn't require a passport. Some of my most transformative travel experiences have happened within a few hours' drive of home. The key is approaching familiar places with the same curiosity and openness you'd have in a foreign country. The road trip culture here is perfect for solo travelers. There's something deeply American about getting in a car and just driving toward adventure. You'll meet incredible people at roadside diners, small-town festivals, and campgrounds across the country. Canada is my #1 recommendation for solo travelers, and here's why this country will completely change your life. Canadians are genuinely the friendliest people I've ever encountered in my travels. This isn't just a stereotype, it's a cultural reality that will restore your faith in humanity. I've been to Canada more times than I can count, and I've never had a bad experience. I've been to places like Manitoba in the middle of winter, places other people told me were boring, and had absolutely incredible adventures. The diversity in this country is mind-blowing. In Alberta, you have the Canadian Rockies, which rival the Swiss Alps for pure natural beauty. The hiking here is world-class, and you'll meet solo travelers from around the globe on trails around Banff and Jasper. In British Columbia, you have rainforests, mountains, and coastlines that will take your breath away. But what really sets Canada apart is how it teaches you that kindness is a universal language. Whether you're watching polar bears in Churchill, Manitoba, or exploring the maritime provinces, Canadians will go out of their way to help you have an incredible experience. The wildlife experiences here are unparalleled. Where else can you see polar bears, beluga whales, grizzly bears, and wolves all in their natural habitats? I've had wildlife encounters in Canada that rival anything I've experienced in Africa or Asia. What makes Canada the ultimate solo travel destination is how it combines safety, natural beauty, cultural diversity, and genuine human connection in ways that will fundamentally change how you see the world and yourself. The seasonal experiences here are incredible. I've done winter adventures in the Yukon where the northern lights were so bright they cast shadows on the snow. I've explored the changing leaves in Quebec that rival anything New England has to offer. And the summer festivals across the country create instant communities where solo travelers become lifelong friends. Here's what most people don't realize about Canada. It's massive. We're talking about the second largest country in the world, with landscapes so diverse that you could spend years exploring and never see the same thing twice. From the rugged coastlines of Newfoundland to the wine regions of British Columbia, every province offers completely different adventures. The indigenous culture here will teach you perspectives on life and nature that you can't learn anywhere else. I've participated in traditional ceremonies and learned about sustainable living practices that indigenous communities have used for thousands of years. These experiences will change how you think about your relationship with the environment. But here's the secret that ties all these destinations together. Solo travel isn't really about the places you visit. It's about who you become in the process. Each of these 10 countries teaches you something different about yourself. Iceland teaches you that you're braver than you think. Thailand shows you that connecting with strangers can lead to lifelong friendships. Japan reveals that slowing down and being present can be more valuable than rushing through experiences. Germany proves that you can adapt to any culture. New Zealand shows you that you're capable of physical adventures you never imagined. Peru demonstrates that you can be independent while still being part of a community. The Galapagos connects you to the natural world in profound ways. Botswana shatters your preconceptions and opens your mind. The USA teaches you that adventure is everywhere if you know how to look for it. And Canada shows you that kindness and natural beauty can heal whatever stress or anxiety you're carrying. I've watched thousands of people take their first solo trips to these destinations, and the transformation is always the same. They leave as one person and return as someone completely different. More confident, more open-minded, more resilient, and more connected to the world around them. So here's my challenge to you. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect travel partner, or the perfect amount of money in your bank account. Pick one of these 10 countries, just one, and book a trip for the next 6 months. If you're completely new to solo travel, start with Iceland or Canada. If you want to challenge yourself culturally, go with Japan or Thailand. If you're ready for a life-changing adventure, choose Peru or the Galapagos. If you want to stay closer to home, explore the incredible diversity of the USA. But whatever you do, don't let fear hold you back from experiences that will literally change your life. I promise you that 6 months from now, you'll be planning your second solo trip. And a year from now, you'll be the person giving advice to nervous first-time solo travelers. The world is waiting for you. These 10 countries are ready to welcome you with open arms, incredible experiences, and life-changing adventures. The only question is, which one will you choose first? Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 10 destinations called to you the most. I read every single comment, and I love hearing about your solo travel dreams and plans. If this video inspired you to take your first solo trip, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I post new solo travel guides every week, and I want to be part of your journey from nervous first-timer to confident solo travel expert. And if you're ready to start planning right now, check out my detailed country guides in the playlist I've linked in the description. Each one has specific recommendations for accommodations, transportation, and must-see experiences that will make your solo adventure unforgettable. Remember, the best time to start solo traveling was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Your adventure is waiting. Go claim it. Oh, and one more thing. There's actually an 11th destination that I didn't include in this list because it's so intense that only experienced solo travelers should attempt it. If you want to know what it is, check out my video on 5 eco-friendly paradises. Fair warning though, this place will test every skill you've learned from these 10 countries. You can find that video right here. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and remember, the world is your classroom when you travel solo.